Good morning, traders. Manny Cabrera here, co-founder of MDC Trading Academy. With our pre-market forecast for today, Wednesday, December the 9th. We're also going to do a midweek review to see what's going on. Let's look at our news reports as we announced earlier this week. Nothing on the docket for the first 3 days of the week. We begin with news on Thursday and Friday. Let's quickly jump from our analysis this morning. As the market continues its relentless pursuit of all-time highs, as we're opening up again once again this morning with another all-time high at 37.08. Absolutely unbelievable what's been happening in this market. Remember, we were at 33.86.50. That was the all-time high before we had the big meltdown because of coronavirus. We have since recovered very, very strongly. We're still trading very light volume. We're averaging less than a million. Our ATR is less than 51%. I kind of looked at the market earlier yesterday and it was just moving like molasses. Not interested in markets like this. So just be very careful today. Just remember, you have to adapt to the movement of the market. Just set your expectations low. And if it outperforms your expectation, well, that's a blessing. But you have to make sure that you're always dancing at the rhythm and the beat of the market. You have to try to align your thinking to the market. You need to align your speed to the market. You can't force the speed. It happens to a lot of rookie traders where the market is moving very slow, then they finally get into a trade, and for some reason they're expecting the market to continue and go fast for no reason whatsoever. The market is going to continue to move its pace unless it's motivated by something. Remember, the market suffers from amnesia. It's not going to remember you. It's not going to know who you are. Just because you enter a trade doesn't mean things have to change, so you need to learn to adapt. More of the same, folks, just continuing to establish all-time highs. Let's look a little deeper behind these numbers here. Very strange and very eerie markets, to be honest with you. Here's the market just continuing to blast through every single resistance area. Here was the original resistance area. Here was another resistance area. Just market continued to climb through runs. Finds a ceiling, finds support, runs, finds a ceiling, hits the former support, becomes resistance, becomes support, blasts through it. That's the pattern that we've been seeing. Just continual pattern of new highs based on runs. Now, what's happening is between where we find ourselves at support and where we establish the all-time high, the movement has been very deliberate, very slow, and very inconsistent at times. We have these huge swings back and forth, which are very nerve-wracking at times if you don't have a plan and you don't know what you're doing, and more importantly, if you're not expecting. Here's what we look at today. Here's the intraday high of yesterday, Tuesday. Here's the intraday low. Clearly broke above that. Obviously, this is an all-time high here. Clearly broke above that with this gap here in the market. We still haven't filled the entire gap. We still have a ways to go. So first movement this morning, if resistance holds here at the intraday high, we're expecting the market to come and try to retest and fill this gap and potentially move a little lower to this section here, this section of support. Remember, we had, look at the run, retracement, the run. There's a huge consolidation at market close yesterday, but it's a very strong support area there. So the market can potentially come and try to fill this gap and then come retest here. That's a 38% retracement of the overall move from this intraday low in the pre-market to this intraday high of the pre-market. So that's the entire gap. I ran one from here to the low and to the high, from this pivot to the high. Here's our next resistance area here. We have a lot of confluence between the 38 and the 50, 38% of one and 50 of the other. So the market can retrace to this level here and still be able to bounce off there expectedly to continue to the upside. If the market does not hold support here, it may potentially attempt a run to try to test these all-time highs. Now remember, everything's happening at the speed of the market. This was the pre-market from yesterday. We had relatively low activity. We've had very low activity in the pre-markets. This is a lower one that we'll see what happens right around the 9:30 section to see how much of volume we have. Now remember, you have to be very patient in these types of markets. If you don't have the makeup for these kinds of markets, these can get you in a heap of emotional trouble. So make sure you have your plan and make sure you trade your plan. Have a great trading session. Let me know if you have any questions. Take care.